Let's be honest. We all love to point fingers at the toxic people in our lives. But what if I told you that most toxic relationship you have might actually be with yourself? Imagine this. You having a tough day and instead of giving yourself a break, you start beating yourself up with negative thoughts. Why am I like this? Or you never felt satisfied, no matter how hard you try. Or why am I not successful? I am Sophie, a psychologist, passionate about making mental health support easy and relatable. Here are 8 signs says you are toxic to yourself. Sign number 1, negative self-talk. When you constantly criticize yourself, saying things like, I'm not good enough, I'm always mess things up. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and instead of just accepting the delay, you start blaming yourself. Why did I take this route? I always make stupid decisions. So you can practice self-compassionate dialogue. When a negative thought rises, counter it with evidence of your strengths. Instead of, I can't do this, try saying, this is challenging, but I have handled tough situations before. Second sign is seeking perfectionism. You set unrealistic standard for yourself and feel like a failure if you don't meet them. So embrace the concept of good enough rather than perfect and set realistic goals and celebrate those small achievements. Learn from your mistakes and focus on progress, not perfection. Have you all heard about procrastination? Procrastination is you delay important tasks because you are overwhelmed or afraid of failure, which leads to stress and anxiety. If you find yourself in this situation, use the 5-minute rule. Commit working on a task for 5 minutes. This makes it easier to start, and once you get going, it's usually easier to keep going. Break tasks into smaller and manageable steps. You can use tools like to-do list or time blocking. Fourth sign is over-apologizing. You apologize excessively, even it is your fault. This can also reflect of lack of self-worth. You can practice saying thank you instead of sorry. For example, instead of sorry I'm late, say thank you for waiting. This shifts help reinforce your self-worth and reduce unnecessary self-blame. When you prioritize others' needs over your own, often at the expense of your own well-being, then you may fit into people-pleasing, which is another sign of self-toxic. You can set healthy boundaries and practice saying no without guilt. Start by expressing what you want in simple, everyday situations. Remind yourself that taking care of your needs is not selfish. It is essential for your well-being. Sign number 6, constantly seeking external validation. You rely on others' approval to feel good about yourself and doubt your worth without it. What to do if you are in such situation? Build your internal validation system. When you achieve something, take a moment to acknowledge it privately before seeking external praise. Create a list of your personal strengths and accomplishments and revisit it when you need a reminder of your worth. 7th point, which is staying in toxic relationships or environment. When you remain in unhealthy situations, believing you deserve it or that things will magically get better, you can conduct a relationship audit. Identify who lifts you up and who drains you. Practice distancing yourself from toxic influences and invest more time in relationship that nourishes you. Seek therapy or counseling if it's hard to navigate these decisions alone. Last not the least, catastrophizing and overthinking. You tend to imagine the worst case scenarios in every situation, leading to unnecessary anxiety. So use the what if versus what is technique. When you find yourself in this situation, ask, is this a real problem or am I imagining a worst case scenario? Ground yourself in the present moment and focus on what you can control right now. In any of these signs felt familiar, don't worry. Awareness is the first step to change. Remember, small changes can lead to big result. Be kind to yourself and you deserve it. And of course, there is no shame seeking help.